I'm going to read chapter 23, Glinda the Good Witch Grants Dorothy Wishes. And before reading chapter 23, I'm going to be talking about chapter 22, Quanderings, Contrary Quanderings. The people in Quanderings are red in red, and then the color is all red, and then blue and green, red. A specific color in the wonderful Wizard of Oz and express each characters, and then that Dorothy and Catherine met. Okay, go. I'm going to read chapter 23.
By L. Frank Baum. Chapter 23. Glinda the Good Witch Grants Dorothy's Wish. Before they went to see Glinda, however, they were taken to a room of the castle where Dorothy washed her face and combed her hair, and the lion shook the dust out of his mane, and the scarecrow patted himself
into his best shirt and woodman polished between all his joints.
When they were all quite presentable, they followed the soldier girl into a big room where the witch Glinda sat upon a throne of rubies.
She was both beautiful and young to their eyes, and her hair was rich red in color and fur and falling slowly just over her shoulders.
They were white, but her eyes were blue, and they looked kindly upon the little girl. "What can I do for you, my child?" she asked.
Dorothy told the witch all her stories, how the cyclone had brought her to the land of Oz, how she had found her companions, and on the wonderful adventure they had met with.
"My greatest wish now," she added, "is to get back to Kansas, for Aunt Em will surely think something dreadful has happened to me, and that will make her put on mourning, and unless the crops are better this year than they were
last, I'm sure Uncle Henry cannot avoid. Glinda leaned forward and kissed the sweet, upturned face of the loving
little girl. "Bless your dear heart," she said. "I am sure I can tell you of a way to get back to Kansas," she added. "But if I do, you must give me the golden cap."
"Really?" exclaimed Dorothy. "Indeed, this is of no use to me now. When you have it, so you can command the winged monkeys 3 times.
"I think I shall need their services just those 3 times," answered Glinda, smiling.
Dorothy then gave her the golden cap, and the witch said to the scarecrow, "Where did you?" When Dorothy had left us.
"Return to the Emerald City," he replied. "For Oz has made me its ruler, and the people like me. The only thing that worries me is how to cross the Hill of the Hammerheads."
"Running over the golden cap, I shall command the winged monkeys to carry you to the gates of the Emerald City," said Glinda, "for it would be a shame to deprive the people of so wonderful a ruler."
"Wonderful?" asked the scarecrow. "You are unusual," replied Glinda.
Turning to the Tin Man, she asked, "What will become of you when Dorothy leaves this country?" He leaned on his head and thought a moment.
"The Winkies were very kind to me, and wanted me to rule over them after the Wicked Witch died."
"I'm fond of the Winkies, and if I could get back again to the country of the West, I should like nothing better than to rule over them forever."
"Command to the winged monkeys," said Glinda, "will be that they carry you safely to the land of the Winkies. Your
brains may not be so large to look at as those of the scarecrow, but you are really brighter than his. When you're well polished, I'm sure you will rule the Winkies wisely and well."
Then the witch looked at the big, shaggy lion and asked, "When Dorothy has returned to her own home, what will become of you?" "Over the Hill of the Hammerheads," he answered.
"On the Hill of the Hammerhead," he answered, "lies a grand old forest, all of which leave their heads made of.
I would pass my life very happily there." "My third command to the winged monkeys," said Glinda, "shall be to carry you to the forest."
Then, having used up the powers of the golden cap, I shall give it to the king of the monkeys, then he has been made there to be free from everywhere."
Crow, and Woodman, and the lion now thanked the good witch earnestly for her kindness, and Dorothy exclaimed, "You are certainly as good as you are beautiful."
"But you have not yet told me how to get back to Kansas. Your silver shoes will carry you over the desert," replied Glinda.
If you'd known their power, you could have gone back to your Aunt Em the very first day you came to this country. But then I should not have had my wonderful brains, cried the Scarecrow.
I might have passed my whole life in the promised country. I should not have had my lovely heart, said the Tin Woodman.
Lasted in the forest till the end of the world, and I
should have lived a cold forever, declared Ryan. No beast in all the forest would have had a good word to say to me.
True, said Dorothy, and I am glad I was of use to these good friends. But
now that each of them has what the most desired, and each is happy in having its kingdom to live beside, I think I should like to go back to Kansas.
Silver shoes, said the good witch, have wonderful powers.
And one of the most curious things about them is that they can carry you to any place in the world in 3 steps, and each step was made in the wink of an eye.
Is knock the heels together 3 times and command the shoes to carry you wherever you wish to go.
If that is so, said the child joyfully, I'll ask them to carry me back to Kansas at once.
She threw her arms around the lion's neck and kissed him, patting his big head tenderly.
Then she cast a Tin Woodman, who was weeping in ways the most dangerous to his joint.
The soft, stuffed body of the Scarecrow in her arms instead of kissing his painted face, and found she was crying herself at this sorrowful parting from her loving comrades.
Glinda the Good stepped down from her lovely throne to give the little girl a goodbye kiss, and Dorothy thanked her for all the kindness she had shown to her.
Arms, and having said one last goodbye, she clapped the heels of her shoes together 3 times, saying, "Take me home to Aunt Em."
Instantly she was whirling through the air, so swiftly that all she could see to feel was the wind whistling past her.
3 steps, and then she stopped so suddenly that she rolled over upon the grass several times before she knew where she was. At length, however, she sat up and looked about her. Good gracious!
For she was sitting on the road to Kansas Prairie, and just before her was the new farmhouse Uncle Henry after the cyclone had carried the
barnyard, and Toto had jumped out of her arms and was running towards the barn, barking furiously.
Dorothy stood up and found that she was in her stocking feet, for the silver shoes had fallen off in her flight through the air and were lost forever in the desert.
End of chapter 23.
The end. It's a good story.